This is the download from Sounds Profitable, the most important news from this week and why it matters to people in the business of podcasting. I'm Manuela Correa.
And I'm Gavin Gaddis.
The download is brought to you by Podscribe. Find out more at podscribe.com.
This week, building a better umbrella for podcasting, reflections on the Sound Summit at South by Southwest, podcasting's share of the audio clock, Apple publishes paper on podcast transcription autocorrect, and Digiday explains server-side ad insertion. Let's get started.
This Wednesday, Bryan Barletta published a postmortem on the Sound Summit official day of podcasting at South by Southwest in Austin. The event featured 4 panels and 2 networking events all centered on the business of podcasting. Here's a quote from Barletta. Our goal was to be entertaining and educational without any pitching, to craft a compelling experience for those already deep in podcasting, while at the same time providing a great entry point for new brands and publishers. And I think we succeeded. End quote. When summarizing what made the Sound Summit content stand out, Barletta throws to a quote from Byron Ashley, president of Setabello Entertainment. Quote, "It's the fact that podcasts are under the umbrella at South by Southwest versus being the umbrella at a podcast event. Sometimes it's more validating to be a fish in the pond than to have your own pond." End quote. With the event over and all 4 panels uploaded for free on both Sounds Profitable's website and YouTube, now it's time to look forward towards more places for podcasting to be under an umbrella and make a name for itself as an industry. Now it's time to look forward towards more places for podcasting to be under an umbrella and make a name for itself as an industry. If all goes well, 2024 will be the last year podcasting does not have an official track at South by Southwest.
This Monday from Cumulus Media's Pierre Bouvard, Edison Research's Q4 2023 Share of Ear study surveyed 4,000 U.S. residents annually to measure daily reach and time spent with each form of audio. Bouvard has taken the Q4 data and grafted it onto an audio clock, representing an average hour spent listening to ad-supported audio in the U.S. According to the clock, AM/FM radio takes up the biggest portion with a solid 41 minutes. Meanwhile, podcasting takes second place with 12.2 minutes. More time spent listening than ad-supported Pandora, Spotify, and SiriusXM streaming combined.
There was a lot to learn in the world of podcasting at South by Southwest this past week, so we're bringing together 2 related stories. First up, Odile Benefla, head of US at OSHA, shares her experience with podcasting at South by Southwest, including the Sound Summit official day of podcasting held on March 9th. Key takeaways from the 4 panels include Jonathan B. Allen's take that getting a podcast on a chart is valuable currency for attracting brands. Ray Chow of Vox Media highlighted the challenge of podcast discovery and stressed that the expansion of ad infrastructure is more critical than ever. Meanwhile, Paramount's Steve Raises writes about his appearance on the Hollywood Headphones presentation at Sound Summit, including early data from the Sounds Profitable research study, The Ad Bargain. Combined with data from Paramount Global, Raises' key takeaways from Saturday are that podcasting represents an opportunity for brands to increase their ability to reach consumers, especially if the company has omni-channel platform support. And for brands not tied into larger media ecosystem, podcasting offers some of the best top and bottom funnel metrics around. On the note of data, The Ad Bargain will be debuted in a free live webinar on April 3rd at 3 p.m. Eastern.
A November edition of Digiday's WTF Is Explainer series has been updated to include a new video further explaining the concept. In years past, the video side of advertising has commonly used browser-side solutions to deliver advertisements, simply pausing a video and overlaying an ad. With the rise of browser-based ad blockers, server-side is picking up popularity in the video world as well, stitching advertising content into the video file itself. If that sounds familiar, it's because podcasting has been using the term dynamic ad insertion for quite some time. Now that third-party cookies are set to be retired alongside mobile device IDs, the wider world of advertising is pivoting back to IP and contextual methods. 2 areas where podcasting thrived. Ad blockers are driving the medium towards replicating methods podcast tech has used for years. a move that further normalizes everything ad tech has fought for and achieved in podcasting.
This week, Apple has posted new content on the machine learning research site. The new research details how the company has introduced a new metric for improving accuracy and readability in automatically generated podcast transcripts. The metric, dubbed Human Evaluation Word Error Rate, or HEWER, goes beyond what the existing word error rate algorithms account for. Instead of treating all errors equally, HEWER differentiates between major errors that impact readability and minor ones that don't. Apple's research finds HEWER provides a more nuanced and accurate balance of literal transcription to readability, which moves towards the overall goal of benefiting transcript users. While a dense paper packed with info, it's a worthwhile read and an appreciated bit of transparency from Apple on how their transcription service works.
Finally, it's time for Quick Hits. These are articles that didn't quite make the cut for today's episode, but are still worth including in your weekend reading. This week, The Case for Going Longer with Brand Lift by Paul Rees-Mandel. Brand Lift studies greatly benefit from having more data, and running studies longer than the standard calendar quarter both solves for this issue and makes them more cost-efficient. Joe Rogan finally returns to YouTube, and it's a massive hit by Connor Bennett. The Joe Rogan Experience has returned to uploading full episodes to YouTube, and with YouTube video podcasting's growth since the show's absence, their view count has skyrocketed to 22 million views in less than 2 weeks. The Ad News Agency Map 2024 is here. Australian outlet Ad News has compiled a map of over 250 ad agencies, giving a bird's-eye view of the industry. For a similar view of our own industry, check out the Podscape. And Growing Up, Digital Audio Headlines 2024's Marketing Mix by Tanya Davis. Podcasting is growing in South Africa, and PwC predict it'll reach over $16 million USD ad revenue by 2025.
And that was the download, brought to you by Sounds Profitable. I know we went through today's stories fast, so be sure to check out the links to every article mentioned right in your podcast listening app or on soundsprofitable.com/podcast. And thank you for sticking with us as we bring you the top stories you might have missed from the past week. I'm Manuela Correa.
And I'm Gavin Gaddis. Our producers are myself, Bryan Barletta, and Tom Webster. Special thanks to Spreaker for hosting the download. And thanks to you for joining us. Robot.
Download complete.